All right, folks, last year I attempted my first prediction for the markets and the economy in the world, and well, things got turned a bit upside down. So let's give this another crack, shall we? Mid-year predictions, here they come. Let's start out of the gates hot talking about inflation. One of my favorite people, Mr. B, has been calling for inflation since the year of the flood, and here we are. He was right. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Anyways, to that end, I believe inflation will start to taper off here, and we're going to see the year end in that 6 range for CPI and continually downward turn from there. Next, let's talk about the markets. I actually think we bottomed or close to it. I think we're in that downward bowl, crescent, sort of moon looking thing when you look at sort of the markets and trends and lines and things of that nature and graphs. But I think most of the bad stuff is priced in, and there's more good news out of this in the next 6 months, and really the last quarters where I'm really seeing things turn. But I think we bottomed. Speaking of which, the S&P 500 had a rough start to the year, worst half in 50 years for the S&P 500. I do think, however, we are going to see some rebound and really back to like 4150 as far as the level we'll see in the S&P 500, which is another 7-8% rebound from where we are today, and continue that trend into next year, which speaks to next year and when will the markets rebound the loss. And I think you're looking end of 2023 to really fully recoup everything. Speaking of bonds. Biggest, maybe to me, one of the biggest stories this year. Bonds have gotten crushed to start the year, and they're sort of leveling out here. I think the worst by far is behind us. And really, bonds are going to creep back to that 4%, 5% down range for the year. Speaking specifically Barclays Ag, I do think that we are likely to have the first negative year in the U.S. bond and stock market ever. But clear skies ahead for bonds, for sure. Nasdaq, ouch. Nasdaq's been one of the big stories this year. It's been really hit hard. I think it fits and starts the rest of this year. Nothing crazy, rebound there. But I do think next year you're going to see that the Nasdaq go gangbusters. Probably end the year over 15,000 and really start to make a lot of headway here and have a big year. Unemployment. So one of the stories not talked about enough is unemployment is 3.6%. So we're calling in for a recession, but I do think that we are talking about unemployment this year, maybe slowing a little, but still in that 4% or under range, I think. I don't think the job market is going to get hit as hard as maybe the Fed would like, but I think it's resilient. There's a lot of people hiring still, a lot of job openings, and some good, strong, surprising figures. And I think actually unemployment and the healthy job market is going to be a real big savior here. Speaking of things and rates, let's talk about mortgages. So 5.625%, 5 and I guess 6/8, that is. That's where the year will end, or 5/8, I think, sorry. I think that's what we're going to see. I think that's going to be the 30-year figure by the end of the year. Mortgage rates have really been all over this place, up, down, left, right, sideways, moving big chunks. So it's a real hard one to predict, but I think that's what we're looking at. Now let's talk about Fed fund rates. That's been the story in the news, about 1.5% today. We're expecting another 0.75 percentage point raise later this month. And I think you're going to see it about 3.25. 3.25% is where we're going to end the year from a Fed fund rate, which speaks to constant increases here for the next bunch of meetings this year. I think that's where we'll land. And last, but certainly not least, recession. So technically recession, when you look it up in the dictionary or my business books in college, said 2 negative years of GDP. I think we're going to see that shortly here. That said, the real recession is called by the Feds because they have to determine if we're in a recession. It's hard to call a real recession if you have strong employment figures. So although we'll probably see a little recession, I think the market's priced in 80% probability of it. I do think that it is a narrow recession and will rebound rather quickly. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. I hope you enjoyed it. That's my mid-year prediction. Put it in the books. As always, Andrew Rosen, President Diversified. Stay wealthy, stay healthy, and stay happy. Bye.